I am Master Life Coach Michelle Kennedy, Miss Get You Together, here for another episode of Come Let's Sit Down and Talk. We have with us today Miss Charmae Allen. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing amazing. So tell us about yourself.
My name is Charmae Allen. I'm the owner and mixologist of Cocktails of Sweetness, where there is a taste of sweetness in every cocktail. We specialize in private events, birthday parties, receptions, weddings, you name it.
Okay. So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
I have been an entrepreneur a little over 3 years, but I've been bartending for over 10.
Oh, shucks now. You got some skin in the game. You're older, you
Oh, yeah, I've been around for a long time.
Okay. So what made you get into bartending?
To be honest, I haven't always made the best decisions in life, and I started as a side hustle to gain some more money. I became a convicted felon, and I needed money for restitution. So I started waitressing and cross trained as a bartender, and over the years, I've really learned how to be. It's become my passion.
Okay. All right. Sounds like you've turned things around and changed the narrative.
Absolutely.
Oh, child, we'll get back into that. So, you are also a host of an empowerment event.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell us about your event.
My event is called Chit Chat, Table Talk Discussion. It is a women empowerment event that I have birthed in the midst of some of my brokenness and trying to heal at the same time.
Okay, all right. So, how often do you do the event?
I host the event every 3 months. Well, since COVID, some of the things have switched up, but I do have one coming up, which is my 2-year healing anniversary. It's going to be August 21st.
Okay, so you have one coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell us where we can find the information about the event.
All right, the event is on Eventbrite under Chit Chat. At eventbrite.com, as well as you can follow us on Instagram, chit.chat_, and on Facebook, Chit Chat Table Talk Discussion.
Okay. So what made you become a curator of a women empowerment event?
That's a great question. I started a healing journey about 2 years ago, and I realized I had myself in some situations or relationships that were very abusive. They were mentally, physically, and emotionally abusive. And I really had to come to an understanding of why I was accepting this type of behavior, and I knew I didn't deserve it. It then led me to some discovery that I was broken myself. No, not me. Yes, I was very broken myself, very damaged. I realized I suffered from major abandonment issues. I was in my last abusive relationship, and I was like, I have to do something. I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. I need to start talking about it. Let me find a way to help people that can't take advantage of me, as well as help myself. So my partner at the time, I told her my idea. She didn't believe in it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go through with it. I feel like it's a very good idea. Allowed people to be a part that did not believe in the vision. But after my first show, it really made me realize some things. So I started on YouTube doing research around certain topics, and it was scary. It was really scary to determine just the place that I was in. So I had to do something about it. And I realized that I couldn't do the work myself, or I couldn't do it alone. So I reached out to start counseling. I'm now on my 2-year healing anniversary, which must be celebrated. And this is how I do it. This is how I continue to heal. This is how I continue to help people that can no longer take advantage of me. I have over time built a platform of not just bartending, but having a heart of gold, loving to help other people, and this is a great way to do it.
So I saw where you have hired some other bartenders.
Absolutely.
I saw y'all little pictures.
Yes,
ma'am. So tell me about what made you want to broaden what you were doing beyond just you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So my word this year is expansion. And it's time. So my biggest thing in this is that I get to provide other people an opportunity that I didn't have. People were reaching out to me, business was picking up, and I had to tell people no. And I didn't like that. They didn't like it either. So I had to find a way that, I can be in multiple places at one time, and not miss out on my coin. A few of my employees, one is my younger brother, some close knit people that are friends that I've had over time in the community that really just believe in me to lead them. So it makes me want to continue to set a positive example and show them that, we can stick together, we can learn together, we can make money together, even if we are in the same profession. So, over time, I developed very much so skill set between the nightlife and my own personal parties. And, people say I'm the best. They say I'm good. So I'm confident. I believe what they're telling me. So now I feel like if I could train others to be a beast like myself, then we taking over.
Okay. So I saw where you were doing something with Trina. Yes, I do follow your page.
Yes.
They don't know I be looking.
Yes, please. I know you're gonna get me together.
Come on through here. So tell me about that. Now I know that had to be exciting.
It was very exciting. One of my friends and mentors, Dr. Cynthia Smith, her husband was celebrating his he finished his last chemo and he may be retiring. So she surprised him. That's his favorite rapper. She surprised him. I was actually at their home for a surprise party for him, and it was just really exciting to be around a real celebrity. And I didn't want to, overstep. Sometimes when people see celebrities, they automatically crowd their space. And she was like, go up to her. This is your opportunity. And I'm learning when people give you an opportunity to speak, you get in there and, you just be yourself. So I had the ability to talk with her for a brief moment, and I made her a drink and we took shots together.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's real Trina.
Yes.
I was like, that was exciting. I like Trina. I watch Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Yes, ma'am.
I was like, all right, I like Trina.
Yes. Very good personality. And we cheers to growth, wealth, and prosperity. So that was really exciting to be able to meet someone that you look up to or see in the community, paving her own way, and just so down to earth. Very nice spirit. So I enjoyed that.
So I heard you say your word for the year is expansion. Do you pick a word every year?
Yes, ma'am. My word last year was unstoppable. And through the pandemic, things were tough for everyone, but I had my first surgery right before the pandemic, and it was really just another transformation, very life-changing, because I've never had surgery before. I found out I had fibroids on my uterus that were huge, and it was causing so much pain. So the doctor told me it was a 6-week healing process, and this was right before COVID. So at the end of my process, I thought I was going to be able to get back out in the world, start transitioning, but it didn't happen like that, which was actually a great thing, because I never knew that I could sit down. Sometimes life is just happening so fast, and really I'm still doing it scared, running for my life, but everything that I'm praying about and manifesting is really happening before my eyes. So I took that time last year to sit down, to rethink, to strategize, to, correct myself, hold myself accountable, and realize, certain things you can't do anymore. Is it beneficial to you? So it gave me a lot of time to sit down and really heal, not just heal from my wounds on the outside, but also inside. The survival mode in me, or the way I was raised, is it was pretty much like you all you have. You only have yourself, even though I spread love and give so much to other people. And during this process, people were asking me, well, who's going to help take care of you? And I'm like, oh, I got me. I'm so glad I didn't listen. I'm so glad that family near and far showed up. I'm so glad a tribe showed up to really support me in my time of need. And shortly after that, right before that, I lost my favorite person, which is my grandmother. So that was that was very difficult, because I had a lot of responsibility that kind of fell on me after that. Last year was just really life changing, in comparison to how this sickness is just spreading like a wildfire. I lost two other grandparents last year. I had two surgeries because the first surgery wasn't sufficient. I was still in pain. I I was in a really dark place. I was suffering in silence, um, for a moment, and then I started screaming for help. Right, and I still felt myself sinking. But I'm really glad that nobody listened to me when I said I was okay. I made a vow to myself to no longer say I'm okay when I'm not. I made a vow to myself to heal mentally, physically, and emotionally, and be transparent and be truthful, because what I'm realizing now is that God in the universe is providing everything that I need, and the resources are already around me. But if you're not honest about what you're going through or what you're experiencing, how do people know how to help you? And I also learned it's okay not to be okay, and to call for help when you need it. It is nothing. It is nothing wrong with that. So um, I was struggling. I was struggling bad. I was in a really dark place. I did keep my word unstoppable to say, I can conquer all. I am fearless. I am limitless. And I know for sure my grandmother's spirit is in me. So she is continuing to lead me and guide me. And if I don't feel it, I'm calling for her.
I know. I also, the Lord gives me a word every year, and just thinking when you were saying the words, like one year was the year of manna, and then it was like everything I was doing was like falling,
Yes.
falling, like with it was effortless. So then the next year it was maintain. That was the year I was having events and two people were showing up. But he wanted to see whether or not I was going to be faithful and maintain, even when it wasn't easy.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he gave me the year of manifestation, and that year is when I started building. It was, I mean, things were building. I was establishing, I was structuring, I was putting things in place. Um, this year, he gave me mastery.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had to look it up. I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, I know what master, but mastery. So I began to see how he was laying it out, where all the things I was doing, like I could no longer do them on the level that I was functioning on, that everything had to be elevated to a level of mastery.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it began to make sense when I was attracting people who were not just here, that people were here, and I needed to be here as a master to be able to be their lid, be able to have the capacity to hold all the things that were coming to me. So it is very important that we have a word of vision every year, because I know every year he gives me a word, and it really, looking back, it plays out exactly
really
how that word
to
is.
that. Most definitely. I'll say that so many things, even I went through challenges, but so many things were birthed within that. Like last year around this time, I was taking my own photo shoot to brand my business. Now this year, I'm doing it with 6 other people who believe in me, who believe in me to guide them into something better. I even birthed my cocktail line, which is Don't Play Cocktails. I have 9 delicious flavors now. And I really miss the interaction with people, because I was bartending in the nightlife before. I miss the interactions. I miss the conversations. I miss me being creative. I never wanted to be by myself. And I realized that was coming from my abandonment issues. It was really a scary place. And then I had to start loving on myself a lot more, and getting my mental right. So now I'm definitely on the path of yelling about mental health, self-love. It is so important. I knew I loved myself, but I didn't know my worth. And now I do for sure. Like people will ask me, anytime I would go somewhere, if they didn't see me behind the bar and complain, and I'm like, well, I don't have drinks in my pocket. And now I have developed a way, they're not actually in my pocket, they're in the cooler. But I have developed, grab and go to, it still, tells a story. It still tells about my personality. Like one of my number one flavors is motivational mango. I have successful strawberry, tropical tranquility. Things that make you feel good or put you in a different mindset, and it allows me to just be creative and free spirit. I just really enjoy what I'm doing, and I know for certain everything that I've been through, the trauma, the neglect, the abuse, is all to tell a story. It's so much reward in the direction that I'm walking in. I've never been so sure of what I was doing in life. It's just so refreshing to really walk in your truth and be proud of who you are and who you become, and also be transparent about the things that you have dealt with, so people understand that they're not alone. Right. Especially my generation, I'm glad that it's becoming cool. Mental health is becoming cool, or a trend, or whatever it's taken for them to get some assistance. I tell people all the time, like, if you're not feeling well, you go to the doctor. If right. you can't see, you go get glasses. So when your mental space is not together, there are other techniques, methods, and simple things that you can do, as far as a breathing method that we don't take the time to educate ourselves. So right. Anything that I stumble upon, I try to share that information because I know how it has helped me.
Right. So you had mentioned self-love, and I know that was part of our meeting, was me introducing you to the self-love workbook.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did that help you?
So I'm going to be honest. I purchased that book from you in December, but I never started it. I remember the conversation that I had with you, and I was like, I really been thinking about being a life coach. I know it is just naturally my spirit, and I'm like, now is not the time. I can't add anything else to my plate. And I was like, but in the near future. I didn't know that it was going to happen so soon. So to be honest, we had the conversation. I went the following week and purchased the workbook. Autumn told me, that she done it twice and how much it helped her. And I was like, well, the conversation that we had, meeting each other for the first time, was really impactful. I do believe everything happens for a reason. So I knew at that moment that we would be connected. So I didn't start originally. I actually didn't start until I saw some of my other friends graduate from your program. And I'm like, you know what? That's another sign. Like, what are you waiting on? The time is now. Sometimes we get so complacent that we're like, this is the way it's going. But I'm like, it's time to get uncomfortable. Your word cannot be expansion if you're not standing on that. So expansion is not just for my mobile bartending business. It is within me. What am I going to do to kick it up a notch? So I love your self-love journal. I have bought it. I have gotten it for gifts for 3 other people. And I'm like, listen, you want to start your healing journey? This is where you need to begin. It's going to tell you a lot about yourself. It's going to help you bring up those flaws. And it's going to help you look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I need to change.
I know that it's funny because when I share with people how, so I realized I needed to love me better.
Yes, ma'am.
I was like, I'm good, but I could love me better. And so I made a post, and for 21 days I was making those posts. And as I was making the post, people was like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. And someone said, that should be a book. And I was like,
you better listen to the people.
Okay, let me see what we're working with. And man, when I tell you, it was so hard for me to even go back and face the stuff. A whole year passed, and Facebook will remind you what it was last year.
Yes.
So the post started coming up, and I was like, So I said, you know what? As they're coming up, I'm going to start noting them. So I put a lot of things in my notepad in my phone, so I started notepadding. So it literally took me a whole year to write that journal. I'm a writer. I wrote my first book in 6 weeks. Like, it was 14,000 words. I wrote 6,548 of them in one night.
Yes.
So I was like, wait, I don't think this was what I signed up for. And then, like, when the Lord give me things, He give me specifics. He was like, do a graphics, tell a story, do an exercise, do a journal, put a journal in the back. It won't be no excuse. A whole year. When I said it was nice, I would be like, oh my God, do I have to look at this again? And I remember coming up to my birthday last year, right before the pandemic, and I remember saying, you're not going to be able to go any further until you get this done. So it became a mandate. So I was working, and on top of that, it was around the time for the annual Denim and Pearls events that I do. So I said, you know what, this is gonna be my birthday gift to myself.
That's right.
So I released it on my birthday. My goal was, I said, you know what, in a year, I want to take at least 100 women, 100 men through this self love journey. So I literally started creating groups, taking them on the journey. And oh my God, every time I walk through it myself, I find something new.
It was a movement.
It became a movement. And so now uh, I have life coaches who take people through the journey. And I realized that it's great, but it's so much greater than me.
Yes, ma'am. I believe in that. I know again for sure that I'm on the right path. My life is so much bigger than me, and it really feels good to help other people. And I feel like you put those exercises or told those stories to let people know that you are relatable, very relatable, and what you have been through that has gotten you where you are now. Like blessings and lessons. I like to say blessings and lessons because we are all going through this to help somebody else. But we're doing it in on a platform that is you know further than we can actually touch.
Yep.
Especially we talked about the pandemic, a lot of things changing, more things become virtual, and people get so uncomfortable with change. But I tell them, like, you must do the work. Once you love on yourself and get your mental space right, everything else literally falls into place. Like, I talk about it daily. I'm so passionate about it because of how I feel, because of what it has done for me. It's the best thing I could have did.
When I say um, finding out how to properly love me helped me to love people in a whole new way.
Yes.
Because and the base scripture was, we tell people all the time, love your neighbor as yourself. We don't really think about grammatically. It's like the latter has to be done before what's previously said. So you got to love you in order to set the bar for how you love your neighbor.
That's right.
And we do it flip the opposite way, where we love people so much more than we love ourselves. And that's how we get into toxic relationships, we get into bad situations. But when we create a narrative that we love us first, it prevents us from allowing ourselves to get back in those situations. I say to people all the time, love you first.
Yes, ma'am. You have to teach people how to treat you.
You talking my language now, sister?
Yes, ma'am. Blessings. I'm telling you, blessings and lessons.
Yes. So tell us about where we can find you, where you are on social media, and give us the information about the event again.
Yes, ma'am. You can find me at Charmae Allen on Facebook. Also, Cocktails of Sweetness on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, you can find me at Chit Chat Table Talk Discussion, as well as Instagram, chit.chat_.
Charmae, thank you again for coming and sharing with us. It is always a pleasure for us to have guests on our show. I am Master Life Coach Michelle Kennedy, Miss Get You Together. Thank you again for watching Come Sit Down, Let's Talk. See you again next week. Same station, same bat channel.
With Embrace You, I found a career.
At Embrace You, I found a family.
At Embrace You, I found me.
Are you the strong friend who's always giving advice? Are you the one always mentoring and coaching? Have you thought about being a certified life coach? Because here at Embrace You, we have room for you in our family.
I am Embrace You.
I am Embrace You.
I am Embrace You.
And you can be Embrace You.